Let's go. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. What do you see on the screen? You see that logo there. The two circles. You may wonder, what is it? Why are we here seeing that logo? And if you watch TV from time to time, you may remember the logo being around the football field during the Champions League matches. But more recently, you may have seen that on the Formula One tracks, on the McLaren cars. And I have to say that logo is not the logo of an entertainment company. It's the logo of MasterCard, a global payment company that is active all around the world. And the reason I'm here today is not because I'm not, Kevin De Bruyne or London Norris. That may be the only disappointment for you today. So my name is Benjamin Dessy, and I'm the country manager for MasterCard in Luxembourg and Belgium. And the purpose of this presentation today is just to give you a flavor about what the future of commerce is and what will be the future of payment as well. And one thing that is very important is that payment that you used to know in the past as being a commodity, taking a card, putting the card in the terminal, making your PIN code and basically getting access to the goods, that time is over. The fact that payment is now a way for the banks, for the merchants, for anyone that has an industry to connect to a customer base, to attract and connect different players together, to establish partnership, to get access to data, to cross-sell more services. All of that is going to be critical in the future. And as you can see, 86% of the decision maker are going to use payment as a communication channel to their customer base. So this is why it's important for all the customers of Odoo. If you are using the ERP, if you are developing your own product and solution, it's going to be important for you that you can differentiate your offer, and payment is certainly a way to do that. Before giving you a bit of a flavor of where payment is going, and you will see it's all going to be about AI, which is basically the buzzwords for the moment. Let's take a step back and look at what is the role that a company like MasterCard plays in the ecosystem. And as not everyone knows, MasterCard is not the company that is giving you the card as a consumer, right? So if you get a card in your wallet, and I'm sure you have one, either a credit or a debit card with the logo I've shown, that card has not been given to you directly from us. We have actually an indirect distribution channel that we call the four-party model. And I agree with you that on the screen you see 5 parties. So it's not that we cannot count, it's just that the 4 parties that are important are, on the one side, the banks, what we call the issuers, like the ING of this world, the BNP, so the banks that are actually issuing the cards to the customer base. And you see a logo of the card there, so that's on one side. And on the other side, you have all the merchants that are actually installing terminal and basically being connected to MasterCard through what we call an acquiring bank. And so our role as an organization is to make sure that that open ecosystem is actually, or the players of the ecosystem are actually speaking the same language. That they are connected to the same network and that they exchange the same standards so that they can communicate with each other. This is the reason why, if you are here today and if tomorrow you go to Japan, your experience in payment is going to be exactly the same as the one you have here in Belgium. So we create an interoperable network based on rules on one side and on a physical network on the other side. This is what we do. We set the rules of the game for the industry. And you may say, is it big? I would say it's pretty big, right? If you look at the number of cards that we are issuing at global level, it's more than 3 billion cards that have our MasterCard logo. Everywhere on Earth, we are active in more than 210 markets. And we have more than 100 million acceptance locations. Acceptance location being basically the bakery, or can be Amazon as well. Any company in the world that want to accept our brand and our payment is an acceptance location. And if you look at the number of transactions that we are managing on our network, it's almost reaching 150 billion transactions a year, which means in other terms that since I have started this presentation, that already 3 million transactions have been done on Earth. Just in 10 minutes, 3 million transactions. So massive network, massive footprint. And why do we succeed in doing that? Is because we are developing our solution based on 3 key principles. First, the payment has to be simple. And this is becoming even more important in a digital world. If you have a phone in your pocket like me, you know that you can pay anything with that phone now. You can tap to pay, you can go online, and so it has to be super efficient. And you want that also happening on the authentication side with biometric. So it has to be really simple. The second element, it has to be safe, right? So the number of channels you can use to make payment is without any limit now, right? You can pay Uber with lodging your card in their application. You can go on Amazon again, putting your card on file. You can put your card in the device. You can put it on your watch. And so we need to make sure that whatever transaction you do, the transaction will be secured, so that nobody will be able to steal your data, nobody will be able to copy your data and to use it for fraudulent transactions. So simple and safe are really the foundations of what we do, but it's not enough. We are active in a very competitive world. There are other companies in the world that offer such type of solution. What we want the transaction to be as well is to be differentiated. We want the banks, the merchants, to be able to embed other services into their payment means. Could be loyalty, right? Could be access to data, could be security solution, could be access to other types of services. So we want that to be really experiential as well. And what you have seen with the Champions League with Formula One is just supporting this. So if we now look forward, if you look at the future of commerce, our vision is to make sure that even in the online space, so when you buy online without a physical card, that is gonna happen with the same level of security and easiness. And there are 3 types of investments that we are doing and that the banks are doing, the merchants are doing, the PSPs are doing. And those 3 elements are going to be the foundation or what is going to come after with AI commerce. We are going to see very nice demos about that. But before basically entering your house, you need to make sure that the foundations are actually very strong. And so there are 3 things that we are doing. Is that first of all, we are deploying tokenization at global level. Tokenization is very simple. The number you see on your card, the 16 digit, basically is open to fraud. Anyone can take that information and replicate that, use that on other channels. So what we are doing is that we are changing that 16 digit by a token that is going to be specific to a device, specific to you and encrypted, so that if tomorrow somebody steals my mobile phone, they cannot do anything with it. So the level of security prevention is going to be basically the standard in our industry, and 100% of the transaction will be tokenized. The second element is the authentication. Authentication, who remembers the password they have? Do you remember all the passwords we have? No, nobody can do that. So what we want to do is to make biometric the standard way of authenticating any transaction. And you all know again that if you take your phone, authenticating via biometric is basically a fraction of a second. So again, there the ambition is to be 100% biometric authenticated. And the last one is about convenience. You know that if you buy online, if you are in your bed, for instance, you want to buy something and basically you don't want to go downstairs, it's always cumbersome to say, oh, I forgot my wallet downstairs, I don't remember my card credential, expiry date, those type of things that you never remember. What we are creating at global level is a directory called Click to Pay that is going to centralize that information in the cloud, so that when you are in your bed, you are push on checkout, you see the MasterCard logo, your email address, your physical address, all of that will be pre-populated automatically. And so it's gonna take a fraction of a second when you are now anywhere to basically buy, authenticate, and complete the payment. So this is the foundation of what we do, and that's being deployed at global level now. Let's move now to what is extremely exciting now and what is extremely new, you have certainly never heard about that. It's about, what is AI doing in payment? You certainly know AI for many things, but maybe not in payment. So I have a question for you. So who is using ChatGPT or Copilot here? Okay, seems pretty popular. And who has already been using that to plan a trip in a specific country for the holidays, where you say, from booking the flight, hotel, all the experiences, a lot as well. What is the challenge you are facing when you do that? You are in ChatGPT, you have basically the offer, you have the journey, which is amazing, but the problem after that is that you need to go back to Google after to book your flight separately. You need to book your hotel separately. You need to book everything separately. And so it's extremely painful. We are now going to solve for that. We are embedding payment into the chatbot, into the chat GPTs of this world. And this is a bit the experience that I want to show you. This is being rolled out in the US. It's gonna reach Europe very soon. And it's typically the type of experience you are going to face. Here is the example of somebody who wants to buy a bike for his 4 years old son. We're saying, okay, ChatGPT, give me a bit the offer that you have. And then ChatGPT is going to give you the different offers. And then you can choose the color, do you have that color? What price do you have? By the way, should we add an helmet as well? Because I care about security, and you can do all of that into your chatbot. What was missing at the end was the payment. And you will see that what we are going to add in the chatbot embedded in the application is the payment button. So at the end, when you confirm that basically what you want to do is done, you click on the payment. And as I told you before, when you click, we are going to retrieve the information about yourself because we know who you are. So delivery address will be pre-populated. You can authenticate with fingerprint, and basically the ordering will be done by ChatGPT through all the merchants that you have basically connected to in the chat. So this is going to be a revolution in payment because basically everything will happen through the bot. Everything will happen to the bot, and you may ask yourself, what is the role that we play as MasterCard, right? Because it could be the merchant, the chatbot are doing that by themselves. What we do is very simple. We set the rules of the games for the agent to be MasterCard certified. So we want to make sure that, obviously ChatGPT, you know them, you trust them, but if tomorrow other agents are being created, you want to make sure that when we chat with that agent and pay with that agent, that they are not going to buy and use your card credential to buy something else behind the scenes. So knowing the agent and certifying the agent is the first one. Second, we are going to certify the experience. So the checkout button, it has to be the same across all the channels. So we make sure that the experience is going to be slick and efficient. And the last one, which is also very important, we are going to make sure that what you discussed in the chatbot is going to be basically what you will be ordering actually. So it's going to be validating the order. An example, if you say, let me, ChatGPT just buy me shoes, for instance, and you forget to mention, for instance, the size of the shoes, right? This is going to be an issue. You cannot complete the ordering. So we are going to have that interaction to make sure that everything is actually slick and completed. So we set the rules of the games in what we call agentic commerce with our solution Agent Pay. And as you can see, it's not a minor thing, right? If there is a revolution in payment, it's about that one. You have 800 million users already using those chatbots. They are all using, Gen AI to search, and the shopping will be the first use case. So look for that, and it's going to happen very soon, and you will be able to enjoy that very soon as well. So this is what we do as an organization at global level, simple, safe, and smart. This is what we do. And we deploy those solutions wherever you are on Earth. But I have to say, I'm country manager for Belgium, Luxembourg, so I also care a lot about what's happening in my market, and thank you for joining today. And there is something that is extremely important for us as well, is the notion of partnership. It's very important to understand that, being close to the market, understanding the local needs, whether it's the market dynamics, whether it's the language, but whether it's basically what people want to do, is critical. And we as an organization are investing a lot in deploying local resources everywhere. So in Europe, for instance, we have 27 offices. We have here in Waterloo next door the European headquarters with 600 employees. We have more than 10 million cards in Belgium. So we really want to work closely with the local players, with the local merchants, with the local fintechs. And so the notion of partnership is key. We see ourselves as a kind of the OS of partnership in the payment space. And I just would like to show you a couple of examples of partnership we have been running over the last minutes, because the first one you see there has been announced by Odoo yesterday, by Fabien yesterday. This is the first expense card that Odoo is going to launch. We are very proud to be the exclusive partner of Odoo for that payment. It's going to be facilitating the life of all the customers of Odoo that are traveling everywhere and that want to enable reconciliation between the payment, the business payment they do, and their ERP system. So this is now happening, and we are very proud of that partnership with Odoo. Just a word, so there will be a detailed session about that card just after this one in the all 7E by Laura from Odoo. So if you want to have more information about the card, just go to the next session there. Another example, also with Odoo, it's good to have a card. It's also very good to have acceptance, to be able to accept payment. And there, a partner like Viva.com, with the ear on the all 7, is also partnering with Odoo to embed their app-to-app checkout experience into the Odoo app. So that again, if as a merchant you have your own, on the left side, you have your own shop, online shop, you want to make payment, Viva is going to power the checkout experience into the app to make it very slick, to increase the approval rate, to increase the conversion rate. So again, partnership between a pretty successful fintech, I have to say, Viva, and a global company like us that is providing the rails for that. Other types of partnership, we have certainly seen the BO Bank, Brussels Airlines, MasterCard card, again providing enhanced experience for the travelers, access to fast track, access to lounges. That card is working very well, and we have just received information from BO that as you combine those assets, the level of spend on that card can be even multiplied by 5. So again, those type of partnership allow you to build solution services that are much more relevant for the consumers. The same with Auric. I don't know if there are Club Brugge supporters in this room. Raise your hand if this is the case. Amazing, so congrats for yesterday night. I was with Auric, who is the company that has been creating that co-branded card. I don't know if you have it in your wallet. So this is really a card that combines the passion of football with payment, with open banking, and with loyalty. So again, an amazing partnership, and congrats to Auric, who won the MasterCard for FinTech Award yesterday in Paris. I was in Paris with them. Fantastic company based in Bruges and Ghent. So this is what we do, and I just would like to share with you what is at the heart of what we do. It's good to have the specs, it's good to have the experience, but it's at the end of the day everything about passion. What we want to do is that when people pay with the card, that they feel good, that they feel they feel passionate about what the experience is being brought. So I just would like to share with you one video that's showing the type of priceless experiences that we can provide to the consumers. So if it's launching, should be launching. It's not launching. Don't know. It was working before. Sorry for that. So anyway, so I'm going to show you that right after. Oh, no, that's technical problem. But that's fine, right? So I'm going to share that with you after. But the idea is to make sure that beyond payment, we can provide, for instance, to the kids of your customers access to priceless experience, like being on the field with your preferred football player. We also organize kind of discovery session and driving session with London Norris and Oscar Piastri. It's a pity you don't see the video because the woman there was completely getting crazy. But this is not only about payment, it's also about passion. So to conclude, I'd like to thank you for joining the session today. As I told you, the future of payment is also the future of commerce. As an organization, we are committed to make it simple, smart, and secure and safe. Obviously, everything will be powered by us, by Aurel, by Mastercard. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for the team that prepared that with me. Thank you for my friends that came today. Thank you for my family for being here. And I wish you a fantastic end of the day. Thank you, guys.
Hello everybody. So if you have any question, thank you for the conference for sure. But if you have any question, you can also scan here the QR code and we will do a Q&A just afterwards and I will ask the question.
A question like how to make a video work in a presentation that I can cover if you want. If it works. No.
There is one question about anti-fraud APA. Attends. Wait, it's coming on.
Suspense.
How will tokenization fit in scenarios where payment details are passed over the phone to the seller?
So, what is important with tokenization is that the only thing we do is that we translate a 16-digit number to a token, right? Every sensitive information is actually passed through our secure channel, right? From the merchant to the issuer and vice versa. We don't keep all those data, we just keep the transactional data. But the end user, which are either the issuers or the merchant, always keep the ownership of those detailed information. So the token is just a replacement of a card number. All the information that is being carried through our network remain the same, right? It's just information that is necessary for an issuer to take a decision on the transaction. We don't keep all the data, we just keep the necessary data. The rest, all the detailed information about yourself, your email address and all of that, are being owned by actually the owners, which are the banks. We sometimes play the role of just the repository, like a kind of a bank, right? If the banks want us to store those data, we can do that for them, with the technology. But the data themselves are owned by the banks themselves.
Okay, thank you. And are all the African countries covered?
Yes, so as I mentioned, so we are active in 210 countries around the world. We are super active in Africa as well, through different types of solutions. But there, the acceptance and the technology is the same everywhere you go. So this is why our acceptance footprint is so big. More than 100 million locations, is because every acceptance terminal is configured in a way that it's basically compliant with the standard. So a transaction between your card here and the terminal that is next door is going to be exactly the same as a transaction between here and a merchant in South Africa. It's just that there is a network in between, but the standards are exactly the same.
Okay, thank you. Are European and Belgian regulations over payment slowing down innovation?
That's an interesting one. I would not say that they delay innovation. I think they put a framework that allows the payment ecosystem to be safer and more trusted by the different players. We all know that regulation is requiring a lot of effort and investment from the different players in the ecosystem, the merchants, the acquirers, the issuers, being compliant is a cost, but that cost is usually very worthwhile because this is basically putting the gatekeepers for the transaction to be secured. This is putting the gatekeeper for the data not to be stolen and used for fraudulent purposes. So I would not say that it's delaying. It's part of the job to be compliant. I would say that without regulation, we would have much more, maybe short term, you will have more solution to market. Long term, you will have less trust in the ecosystem and certainly a higher level of fraud.
Okay, thank you. When using the AI chatbot for online shopping, what kind of recommender should they expect? Will this made independently by MasterCard, or who make the recommendation on ChatGPT?
So at the end of the day, the only thing we add in the ecosystem is an agent in the middle. So the agent is just going to collect different offers from all the existing merchants and put that in the chatbot so that the consumer will find it easier to find the goods that they are looking for. And so at the end of the day, it's gonna be for the merchant to do what they do today, which is to provide the most relevant service or product to the consumer at the best price and with the best distribution channel. And ChatGPT or others are just going to be a catalyst to make basically the quality of the value proposition more visible to the consumers. So there is no major change. Obviously, there will be pressure for the merchants to be top of chatbot, right? Let's put it like that, to make sure that they are going to be chosen by the chatbot. But it's not that different from what's happening in the current world, actually, in the current competitive ecosystem.
Thank you very much. We are actually not have enough time to do all the questions, but thank you very much, and thank you to you.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.